This is the Messiah Hour with Ari Lewis.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Messiah Hour here on Israel Sports News Radio. Thank you for joining us. At any time, you can email the program, messiahhour@gmail.com, or you can email the station, Israel Sports News Radio @gmail.com. We have a very interesting story. I won't say it's positive, it's quite scary in nature, but we're going to bring it to you. On the line right now is Israel Sports News Radio's European correspondent. Back to the program, Jerusalem, Jane Kiel. Jerusalem, Jane, welcome back to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me. How are you?
Doing good, and I'd like to say I hope you're doing good. I know a bit of a scary situation. Let's kind of get right into it. Last week, you're at the Temple Mount, and you are, quote-unquote, asked to leave. What happened exactly?
Yeah, well, if people has been following me, you would know this is not the first time I have been speaking about this on some of your previous shows. I was officially forced off with a good friend of mine last year in October, and we managed to get that out on video, and for that reason I kind of stayed away. I don't want to make trouble or anything, but yeah, so I stayed away from the Temple Mount for about 6 months, but my birthday was up just a week ago, and I just, I really felt like I want to go to God's holy mountain and be on my birthday and just, go by myself, not make any videos, just sit quiet. And I prayed about it, and I felt Thursday morning was the right day. I woke up at 2:30 in the morning. I was praying, and I was getting ready. 7 o'clock, I left my house. So I went by myself. I have had people saying, don't go by yourself, have people video film you, or wear a wig, or where this guy is. But listen, I don't want to hide. This is a democracy, okay? I'm allowed to go on the Temple Mount. So for that reason, I went alone. I barely make it on the Temple Mount, and I see the Muslim guards, the Waft. How do you say that in English, right? The Waft? Waft?
Yeah. The Raft?
It's called Waft. The Waft. Yeah. But anyway, the Muslim guards up there, the minute they see me, they start speaking in their walkie-talkies. And I kept walking, and then there's these two old men in suits who are just staring at me. They stop walking, they're staring at me, and then this young Muslim guard comes up to me and he says, what are you doing? And I said, hey, I'm not doing anything. I just got here. And he says, well, you can't be here. Follow me and I'll escort you off. And I said, I'm not going anywhere with you. I'm allowed to be here. And he says, no, you're not allowed to be here. And I said, why? And then he said something so stupid as, well, it's closed. And I said, of course it's not closed. Look at all the tourists. Then he was looking a little bit like, what to tell now? And then he said, well, there are problems. You need to leave. And I said, don't be stupid. There is no problem. And then he just said, well, you're on a watch list and you're not allowed to be up here.
Wow. So
and I said, what are you talking about? I just came here. I haven't been here for 6 months. I'm not doing anything. And I said, you can follow me around if you want. I'm just going to go sit here quietly and not do anything. And then he spoke in his walkie-talkie, and another Waf came over. He spoke English better. And he said, we know who you are, and we watch the videos that you are uploading. And you speak about us like we are the enemy. And then I got the whole rant about, why are you coming up here? This is the holiest place for the Muslims. Why are you coming here making videos and, praying when this is a holy place for the Muslims?
So were you aware that you were on some type of watch list?
Given the fact that what has happened to me now, that I have been forced off several times on the Temple Mount, and that the last time I was up there, they called me by my name and they said, we have waited 2 months for you and we know all about you. I was like, well, that's kind of freaky a little bit. So of course, in some way, yeah, people were telling me, Jane, they know exactly who you are. And if they have a list, you can rest assured that you are on that list. But I have not broken any Israeli laws. I have not had the police tell me that officially the Israeli police are saying you cannot go. And like I said, it has been my birthday. I went alone not to make any problems. So this guy come over and he gives me the whole rant about I can't be there and, you're desecrating, this is our holy place. And I said, no, and I'm not going anywhere. And then two Israeli, or at least two police officers approached me. And one of them is huge. So I'm going over and I said, listen, these guys, the WAF wants to force me off. I have not done anything. I'm not going anywhere. And so they look at me and they said, what's going on? And they start speaking in Hebrew. And I said, I'm not going anywhere. I haven't done anything. And then all of a sudden I hear, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. And then I see all the Muslim women again that has been banned for a long time. Well, some of them are there now. And a Jewish group came up behind me with the full police protection that they always have when they go on the Temple Mount. And they are arriving behind me. And then I see another policeman that has decided one time before that I was forced off the Temple Mount. So the Waft, the Muslim guard, starts speaking to him. And I said, I'm not here to make problems. I haven't been on the Temple Mount for 6 months. I just got up here. I have not done anything, and they want me to leave. So this police officer looks at me and he says, where are you from? And I said, I'm from Denmark. And he says, go with him. And I said, I'm not going anywhere with the Waft. Are you kidding me? And he says, no, go with this police officer. And they were kind of like, no discussion, just get the hell off. We don't want the problem. So once again, and I said, I don't want to go. And he said, you go with him. Kind of like there is no discussion here. And for the fourth time, I was just evicted off the Temple Mount against my will. And I said to them, I'm going to go complain about this because, and I said, I'm going to go straight to the police. And the guy taking me up, he says, well, I am the police and I'm telling you, you got to go. So what happened, Ari, is that I went to the police at the Jaffa Gate, and I talked to a woman up there, and I said, I want to find a complaint because I was just taking off the Temple Mount. And she said, did anyone touch you? Did they push you? Did they force you off by hands? And I said, no, but I explained to her. So she took my passport, she leaves, and she comes back, and she said, I just called the police station at the Temple Mount, and, they got your name and your passport number, and according to us, you are not on a ban list from the Israeli police. You are allowed to go on the Temple Mount. So I said, really? Well, that's what I've kind of been doing now. And every time I go up there, they force me off. And I could she was a little bit tense and she didn't want to go into a discussion. So for the third time, she just saying, according to the police, you are allowed to go on the Temple Mount as long as you go up where the entrance is by the hotel. And I said, that's what I do. And she says, fine. And I said, fine, you know what, I'm a journalist, I'm gonna write about this, and you can rest assured that you will probably see me again, because if they force me off, I'm gonna be right back here in your office.
Wow. So first let's go back to when they say you're on a watch list and they kind of knew you were coming. Did you post something on Facebook or talk?
No, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. I'm you know what, like I said, I'm not here to make problems. I have stayed away from the Temple Mount for 6 months, but it was my birthday. I just wanted to go up there, and it's from what happened last time that we managed to get video out on all the things they were saying and threatening us. They don't like me up there, and I'm pretty sure that they have a list on people that there is a lookout for, and whoever is in charge of the Muslims on the Temple Mount has decided that I'm just not allowed to be there. So this is kind of peculiar because all the Jews are allowed to go on the Temple Mount with the police protection, being horribly harassed, and this is what I'm reporting about. But now, I'm not even allowed to go up there. I'm not Jewish, and now they have decided that me, as a European, as a Danish citizen, I'm not allowed to go on the Temple Mount, and I'm not going to have it. It infuriates me beyond words.
Again, this is the Messiah Hour here on Israel Sports News Radio. We're talking to Jerusalem Jane Kiel. She's talking about how she was kicked off the Temple Mount last week. So this gentleman that said, you must go, I am the police, in hindsight, was he a member of the police or a member of someone else? What did you think in hindsight?
The thing is that, like I said, some people were saying, are you crazy? Every time you go on the Temple Mount, just, at least make a recording on your phone. But you know what? I was thinking exact the opposite. I'm going to come by myself, not making any videos, not with 10 people around filming. I'm going to come as a good citizen, showing that I come here alone, not to make any problems, not to make any videos, to corroborate. But the good thing is, though, that the Jewish group walking behind me are making videos of them just being there. So they actually have me on video when they are passing me. And the guy recording this apparently knows who I am because he's saying, look, it's Jerusalem Jane. So he sent me that video. So now I have a video where you can see me really debating with this particular police officer. And you can see how I'm surrounded because all of these WAF guys exactly knows who I am now. The way they look at me, really, really evil. So the thing is, though, that a lot of the police officers on the Temple Mount, even though they're Israeli police officers, they're still Arabs. Someone told me that actually. I didn't know that by myself, but now I have him on video, and I got photos now of this particular guy who twice has said that, just go off. And you know what? And the thing is, the Israeli police, according to that woman that I talked to, who said and she actually said, I just talked to the guy in charge of the police on the Temple Mount. I think she said his name was Marcel, and he's saying you are allowed. So I wonder if that's the same guy. I wonder if that's the guy, not knowing that when she called, she was actually talking about the person he just had evicted. That could be kind of a funny situation. But I have the Israeli police words now that I'm allowed to go on the Temple Mount, and I'm going to go back. But this time, you can rest assured that this time I am not going alone. I'm going to go with friends, and there will be video cameras.
Do you find it that most people, when you tell this story to most people, that they're surprised and shocked that these type of things happen? Because a lot of people don't know that people are kicked off the Temple Mount.
Most people are not kicked. The people, you know what? The reason why they don't like me is because I have made videos that shows their wicked behavior every time Muslims are coming on the Temple Mount. I made videos of that, and I spoke against it, Ari. I said, this is disgusting behavior. If you are Muslims, if you want to be respected, you respect other people. You do not harass Jewish people. This is a holy place for them too. According to the law, they are allowed to be here. You show some respect. You know, I made those kind of videos. I made videos how you see Muslim women take their children, push them out, to teach them to scream Allahu Akbar every time the Jews are coming. So I am being kicked off because I have made those videos. And of course I was singing the Shema Israel. That of course don't make them like me even more. So all of these things combined makes this focus about me, so that Jane Kiel now is on the watch list and I'm not allowed to go. But no, people are completely outraged on my behalf when they hear about this. They are.
All right. Again, this is the Messiah Hour here on Israel Sports and News Radio, joined by Jerusalem Jane Kiel. And to make matters worse, you received some threatening messages. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, I got a message in my inbox I have a page on Facebook where I share all of these things. It's called Israel One Nation. And I actually did another radio interview yesterday. And when I went to check my inbox on Israel One Nation, yeah, there was a message from some Arab, and just really some nasty stuff, and in one way I don't even want to use those words, but in another way I am gonna publish this because I want the world to know what we are facing. And when I say we, I'm not Jewish, but I'm saying I'm feeling the hate now because I'm standing for the Jews, just using some very, very strong words, a sort of a, and how I should take a look of this. This is speaking about the Lions of Islam, the military wing of Hamas in Gaza, how proud they are and how they. It's hard for me to explain because the words are so bad. I don't want to put them in my mouth on your show.
Right. Yes.
But something, they're here to destroy us, and all the women are sluts and whores, and all the men are gays, and they are here to just take us out and do what Hitler's parents, something really, really nasty.
And they sent a video that makes fun of all the terror victims. I mean, gruesome videos showing body parts being dismembered, people dying, and playing some absurd, goofy song, like really making fun of the situation. And that was also horrific as well.
I'm telling you, that's. In one way I want to scream, in one way I want to throw up, in one way I want to cry. These are clips from the news. Every time there has been a bus attack, a suicide terrorist attack in a bus or terror attack around Israel, and all these clips from the news, they have put together in a video with this disgusting Islamic song celebrating, glorifying the killing of Jews. And yeah, that video was sent to me next to this message. And they actually say that, take a look at our Islam. It's a religion of honor and glory. You will never get to know the glory and honor of a Muslim. That's how the message to me are ending. What's the honor of glory when you kill the Jewish people? Listen, this is one of the reasons why I'm in Israel and I'm doing what I'm doing. Because you're being butchered in your own home in front of your children. You're being slaughtered when you walk in your supermarket. You're not safe when you walk on your streets, waiting on the bus, waiting on the trains. Someone has to share to the world how wicked and evil these people are and how they're teaching their kids when they perform plays. We have seen videos now when they have school plays in Gaza. They are performing acts on how to stab a Jew, how to kill a Jew. They send their kids to summer camp in Gaza. 50,000 kids are in military gears learning how to kill the Jews. How can I not speak up and try to wake the world and realize that this evil culture, this religion of death, is what's coming against the Jewish people. And now for some years, they come against me too.
But with all that being said, and your purpose and what you're doing is very important, are you at all, and I've asked this before, but now with this latest situation, are you at all scared about going back on the Temple Mount?
No. I'm not. I made a video when I walked out from the police station. I said I just came out from the police station, and according to Israeli police, I'm allowed to be on the Temple Mount. So I know you WAFT guys are watching. If you're watching this, I'm coming back because the Israeli police are saying. So let's see what happens. No, I'm not. Listen, I can't live here in fear. If I lived here in fear, I couldn't be here and I can't do what I'm doing. It doesn't mean that I'm going to be reckless. It doesn't mean that I'm going to be stupid. But like I said, this is going to have to come to a test because according to Israeli police, I'm allowed to go on the Temple Mount and the WAFT are saying no. And I have been forced off by the police because, listen, it's easier for the police to say, let's just remove that one person that the WAFs hate. Instead of saying, according to the Israeli police, Jane Kiel, Jerusalem Jane, are allowed to be on the Temple Mount. So if it's going to take 20 people to escort her around, we are going to do that. You know, so it's easier to just take me down. And that's what they have done for 3 times now. I'm not going to have it anymore. So, and at the same time, I don't want to be unwanted in this country because I'm trying to make it my home. You know, I'm not, and like I said, I'm not here to make problems. I'm really not. But I want the world to know what you guys are facing.
And do you find that maybe this whole situation, even though as tough as it is a bit of a blessing in disguise because there'll be more and more attention about this, what's going on, because there are people that are kicked off, but it's not reported or known about, and this time it will be reported. So is there something positive in all this?
Of course there is, because these are the things that I'm trying to share to the world. And you know what? So I have had a couple of Jewish people telling me, you know what happens to us as Jews, the world really don't care. But when someone like you, Jane, you gave up everything, you gave things away, you left everything, family and friends in Denmark, to come and stand with Israel, to try to share to the world what's going on. And then these things starts happening to you because you're standing with Israel. All of a sudden, the world are paying attention. I really wish that it wasn't like that, because you guys deserve, the Jews deserve absolutely to be heard. But for some reason, some media, it's not like it's a big sensation or anything, because, yes, some media are picking it up because all of a sudden this is happening to a non-Jew.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that'll certainly stick out and maybe get more coverage because, what's the excuse this time? If they want to say Jews shouldn't go up there, well, Jerusalem Jane is not Jewish, and they still kicked her off. So is there you don't obviously have to give your game plan, but are you going in the near future back to the Temple Mount? Is that the plan?
Well, the next couple of weeks we have these different special, the Holocaust Memorial Day and
right.
in Israel. So the next couple of weeks are going to be pretty busy, but I'm not going to wait a couple of months before I go back to the Temple Mount. I know for sure that they're going to be watching me even more, because I know they have watched the videos I made. They said that. The 2 of them said to me, we watch your videos. They watch my videos. They know who I am and what I'm doing. You can see the message I just got now in my inbox. And this is speaking about Hamas, that's the Alliance of Islam, Hamas. So these guys are watching me. So that's why I'm saying that, that's going to be a game plan. I'm not going to go alone. And
right.
So let's see what happens.
All right, so you will certainly take precaution, go with people. You're going to do it in a smart way.
Yes, and like I said, I'm not a troublemaker. This is not what this is about. But as long as the Israeli police has not put me on some list saying I can't go, I'm going.
Okay.
And why would they want to put me? I'm not doing anything wrong. So, I mean, This is a democracy, right? The last time I checked, this was still a democracy.
It's supposed to be, at least. So,
You know what? The only thing occupied in Israel is the Temple Mount.
yeah, I agree with that. Again, this is the Messiah Hour here on Israel Sports News Radio. My guest is Jerusalem Jane Kiel, talk about what happened last week on the Temple Mount. Before we let you go, people out there listening, if they want to, are you going to post the videos? You posted them already, correct?
Yeah, they are on Israel One Nation, yes.
Okay. So people can go to Israel One Nation, watch the actual video of Jerusalem Jane talking about her experience, talking about her ordeal. So go there and check that out. And thanks for coming on the program. No, it wasn't easy, but certainly appreciate it. And
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. And I will keep you updated on what's happened.
Okay, great. So we'll have you hopefully soon on the show again to talk about the update. And everyone should, be aware of what's going on because, I think this story, even though it was tough, I think it's going to be positive at the end because people will realize what's going on and they'll be more awake to it. So we appreciate that aspect definitely. So thank you for being on the program, and we will speak soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Take care. Be well.
Bye.
Bye-bye.